2021.
Welcome to DocuTime 2021. I'm Paula Haller, and I'm wearing glasses so I can see you better. Now, 19 years ago, I went to WHQR with the idea of doing an international documentary film festival in Wilmington, North Carolina. And we found a home for that idea at UNCW's Department of Film Studies King Hall Auditorium. So over those years, we have been there as our home. Now, what do we do? Where do we show this? And I remembered curbside cinema was very successful. And I called Dan Brawley. And I said, Dan, we can do this as a drive-in, can't we? It'll be a different format for DocuTime. And he said, yes. And now, without further ado, let's get started.
Okay.
Dear friends, we will now see excerpts from 3 Wilmington, North Carolina documentaries. Common themes are art, freedom, and how documentary films preserve these important values. Amazing Pre-COVID Prague by Clancy Thompson documents one of Europe's great cities, one that survived both the Nazis and the communists, and in the Velvet Revolution regained its freedom. David Garrigus, local film documentarian, is working on a major feature about the U.S. Constitution. We are privileged to share his segment on the preamble of this amazing document. Chunky Hughes, a well-known local film professional, shows Wilmington as his home. This work in progress gives a window into his amazing life and career, a team project of Clancy Thompson and Patrick Ogilvie, with support from our own Paula Heller.
Great, Willie.
Look at the video, how good the quality is.
Amazing. Is that from your iPhone?
Yeah. No, it's my
Your
this camera.
Video camera.
I don't need to record the whole thing, though.
Not the whole thing, but this is fun, though.
Yeah.
To see it. You can cut it later.
We have free space here, and they have one kiosk with sausages and
It's working really well, isn't it?
Really amazing. Interesting footage.
Well, my premiere is going well.
It is.
Close quarter of Dick. All right.
Chunky Hughes worked in the film industry for 50 years, first as a grip, then as a key grip. He worked in 120 films in 47 countries. In '87, request of Dino De Laurentiis, Chunky came to Wilmington, North Carolina, where he formed Gypsy Grips in 2003.
It takes a whole lot of loving just to keep my baby happy.
I was born in 1940, and for 5 years they were bombing us. They took all the kids and they took them all down to the quiet place of England, and all the kids were looked after by farmers, and they came round to get me, and my dad said, he's not going anywhere, he's staying here. And they said, well, he said, I don't care, he's staying here. And then what they did, to make us wear gas masks, we got these new gas masks, and they were Mickey Mouse. They were Mickey Mouse, so we all wore them. So they got that one right. Mum had to go somewhere, and she said to Dad, who worked round the corner in the studio, don't forget when that boy comes home, you better get him something to eat. And so he came home and he said, hurry up, come on in here, mate. He said, I've got to get back to work. And he's got hold of the bread, but what he's done is he's cutting it with the knife goes at an angle, right? So it ended up with one side being 3 inches wide and the other side being 1 inch wide. And it was like a big wedge. And he still put the stuff on it and sent me out. And that's when all the kids were saying, oh, look at that chunk he's got. Oh, Chunky, oh, Chunky. And that was it. I stuck with it all my life. And I tell you what, it's been a godsend. It really has. I mean, I started off by being in a skiffle group. You
A what?
Skiffle. Skiffle is a guitarist. The old tea chest, the wooden tea chest with a broom handle and a string, and boom, 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 boom. That was that. And a washboard.
So how'd you get into the movie business?
Nepotism. Mum, dad, cousins, uncles, they were all in there. I had to be 18 before I went in. And I didn't really want to go into it, but I had a son. My father just said to me, he said, you're not going very far anywhere anymore. He said, you're a married man now, you need a job. They love to have the sons of the fathers working in there, to carry on the... And so I went in, and for 2 years I really didn't do anything much. I just did what I was told to do. And it was fun. It was great because we all the actors were there, we'd never seen it before, and I was earning money. We were young, we needed money for our families, All of a sudden you do a big movie. And you go, it's just a big movie. And then somebody else will hear about you and they say, listen, if you want the right guy, you get Chunky in here. He knows everybody, he knows everything.
So you really started out being a grip early on.
Yeah. I became a key grip because as a normal grip, you're pushing a dolly and all that, and the key grip is the guy who's in charge. And all of a sudden, I got a call. I was in America. I got a call to go to Asheville to do The Last of the Mohicans, probably one of the biggest films going, and one of the most beautiful films. And then that's when I became a key. That's where I took over and brought in my crew. We used crossbows to fire a line over the tree, and we tied to a rope, a really good rope, and then we pull that up, right? Put an winch in it, pull it up, hang a light in the tree. And
and you had a crossbow.
I know.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Where did gypsy grips come from?
My mother was a gypsy, and I never did coin the name. My best friend who was with me said, "You've got to call it Gypsy Grips." Well, the funniest has got to be Peter Sellers. Peter Sellers, I mean, oh my God, oh dear. We'd all stand around, we'd watch a rehearsal, everybody would be laughing, and and then they'd say, right, we're going to do one more rehearsal, and then you've got to hold your tongue or get off the set. And, okay, right, so they roll the cameras, and then all of a sudden, there's somebody shouting, cut, cut, cut. I thought, oh, hello, who's got in trouble now? It was Peter, he broke up. And Blake Edwards was the director of the movie, who I've worked with a couple of times, right? Very, very funny, dry man. And he's standing there now, okay, roll the cameras. So they roll the cameras, right? The next minute, cut, cut, cut. And it was the first assistant saying cut because Blake had broken up. He was broken up. You couldn't hold your nose, you couldn't, no way could you stop laughing at Peter Sellers. It never got boring. I was working on Alexander, the movie, in England. My son asked me to go over and work with him. He came up to me one day and he said, you know that Angeline has got a lot of adopted children? And I said, yeah. Right, he said, well, one of them's birthday today, he said, and I want you to do something. I said, what do you want? So I did all the shopping that he wanted, had a nice lunch, and Malcolm's there, and I said, yeah, Malcolm. He said, no, he said, no, he said, you give it to her, you give it to her. I don't want to give it to her, you give it to her. I said, well, this is your idea. He said, yeah, I know, but I said, all right, then I'll give it to her. So I walked up to her, this is for your children, from the grip department. Grabbed hold of me and kissed me right on the lips and thanked me for doing it. And my son, when he sees her kiss me, he went, Yeah, but I gave him the money to do it. And she looked at him and said, no, you ain't got it. You ain't getting it. I have a favourite saying, and everybody has now copied it. Some guy walked up to me, a producer walked up to me onto a set, and he said, Chunky, I need to have a word with you. We have a problem. And I said, well, the answer is yes. What's the problem?
That I don't care, but I don't care, but I don't care.
This is him singing, by the way.
Oh, that was nice.
And Mommy's standing by. Oh, don't you cry.
That worked really well.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, don't you cry.
That's lovely.
Oh, don't you cry. It's summertime.
Nice.
It's summertime.
Recorded.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.